Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Gregs, coming to you on the 25th of May 2020 with breaking news of yet another tense standoff between Indian and Chinese forces in the Himalayan mountains along the actual line of control, which is the line of demarcation between their forces. Now, they each claim territory on opposite sides of this line, and it's tense there. This may be the biggest standoff since the incident at Doklam back in 2017. That incident was so severe that the PM Modi and Xi Jinping got together in Wuhan in 2018 and had a summit over it because there were fear of nuclear war as a result of the tensions. Well, the tensions are ratcheting up again. Oh, they did another summit later in India also in 2019. But it's not solved everything. The tensions are ramping up again. As it so happens, right now there's eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation between forces on each side. Right now, presently about 250 on each side facing off with about 10 times as many, 2,000 to 2,500 troops right there in that area, and each side is building up right now as we speak. India claims that they've got more, and some sources from India, and they're saying that the Chinese are 2,000 to 2,500. You may think that's not a big force, but to get all that stuff up in the Himalayas, yeah, that's fairly significant. The intensity that they're facing each other is significant. In fact, where they're at, so back up a minute, they are in eastern Ladakh, and they're also in the Pangong Sao Lake area. They're in the Galwan Valley. So this is occurring in multiple locations, and these people are facing off there. In fact, Lieutenant General Huda, retired of Indian Army, has said that this is serious. He said this is not the kind of transgressions that he's seen in the past. In fact, he's concerned about the Chinese transgressions into Galwan Valley because that is an area that there wasn't any dispute over previously. So it's like a whole new area dispute has opened up in addition to the other areas. I reported to you that they had tensions on the 5th and 9th, and that there was hundreds of Chinese and Indians that got into a fisticuff and rock throwing incident in which at least 10 on each side were pretty badly injured. Fortunately, they weren't trading lead shots, but you know, things could happen like that. So where's this leading? Right now, the standoff also includes Demchok and let's see if I can get this, Dalyut Beg Oldie. Yeah, it's kind of interesting names for stuff, but like I said, this has occurred multiple times. The 5th and 9th being an area at time of great tensions. Greg, why should we be concerned about this stuff going on with India and China? The reason for that is it could drag us into a bigger conflict, and also even if it's just between them, we could have a nuclear winter here. Bigger conflict, what are we talking about? Well, as we know, China and Pakistan also are tied into this. In fact, it seems that maybe China is capitalizing on that to some degree. That China has criticized India for the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir. I covered that in a video talking about the tension between Pakistan and India and talking about what would happen if they went into conflict. So it could be that all these could be tied together. If China and India get into it, or if India and Pakistan get into it, the other party might come in. They may come in together against India. Now, I'm not justifying what India did in Kashmir and Jammu. You know, I'm not getting inside of that one way or the other. I'm not trying to be judgmental in any of these. I'm going to tell you there's good people in China, there's good people in India, there's good people in Pakistan. It's the governments of the countries that get us into trouble with each other. Now, is there more blame on one side as the other with militaries? Well, I will say that China has been very expansionist right now, and I think they are taking advantage of this other dilemma to spread their agenda. They're also taking advantage of Xi Jinping needs a distraction from all the heat he's taking internally. Kind of a wag the dog situation. So he might be more inclined to do things. I have said in other videos that this may be a dangerous time vis-a-vis China, as a lot of their people are out of work. Things haven't stood back up. A lot of people have been sick. The government has played heavy-handed there. There's tensions in Hong Kong, tensions with Taiwan. They're currently pushing countries all in their region with their 9-dash line and beyond. Claiming islands. There's much to talk about And I could do a whole channel on that alone, but that's not my focus. I will cover that more in the future because it's, you know, we've been ignoring the 900-pound gorilla in the room. So, yeah, I think China's taking advantage of some of this stuff, and they're playing heavy-handed right now. They're wanting to build their Belt and Roads Initiative, rebuild the Great Silk Road, a lot bigger than it ever was in historical times, with many paths apparently. So there's a lot to be worried about. Again, why should we be worried about it, Greg? If it's China and Pakistan and India, you know, maybe they'll just get them out of our hair. Well, we have to be worried about it for many reasons. For one, some of my viewers are from each of these countries, and you have a lot at stake. War is never a pretty thing. It's never a good thing, and it should be avoided, but, you know, sometimes it happens. So let's look at that. If there is a conflict in that region, you do face the prospects of a nuclear winter. It's been studied that the idea that if you had 100 devices of that type going off over some of these cities, you get so much smoke and soot in the atmosphere that it indeed could induce a nuclear winter. Now, there's a lot of scientists that make that claim. True or false, it's out there. It's a possibility. It's a prospect. It's more disruptions in our global trade. It's more disruptions with our partnerships, our supply chain. It will affect us here in multiple ways, the economies of the world. What may come next in terms of military adventurism. So it will absolutely have an impact on what happens here, the full dimensions of which we don't know, but it would not be good. There's nothing good that can come out of a situation like that. So we do need to be mindful of what's happening there. It could spill over. We could get drug into it because China could see this as an opportunity to do something in Taiwan, Hong Kong, or elsewhere. We may feel drawn to support India, the largest democracy in the world. We're talking about the two most populous countries in the world that might go into conflict. India and China, the two largest countries on the planet. And we have deep ties with both countries. How many of our call centers are in India, for example? There's no way it would not gravely affect us. So that said, now I point this out because we need to keep our eyes wide open and head on a swivel. There's a lot of things coming at us right now. They're coming at us in many directions. The bugs that are running around, if you know what I mean, and many other things that are challenging us, challenges to our freedoms, challenges to our responsibilities. There are several things that we're having to deal with right now. We've got to be really smart to know how to travel through these times that are ahead of us. And that's what I'm trying to help you with. My goal of my channel is to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And I also offer other things to help you in that regard. For example, you can go to, there's planting time right now. Go to True Leaf Market to order your heirloom seeds. That's the kind that you harvest the seeds from, and you can replant them and get the same kind of plants back. You can't do that with hybrid plants. So make sure you get true good heirloom seeds. And you can also do microgreens in your home if you can't grow outdoors. So you can see my videos on growing microgreens. Go to True Leaf Market. You just look down at my channel notes, click more to expand them, or my pinned notes I put on my videos, my more recent videos, like the last year, you'll see links to. And I'll go to prepwithgreg.com for prepping supplies. Prepwithgreg.com. That gets you access to everything. If you click around the links and click on the channel, get $100 off of a 1-month food supply, long-term storage, and many other prepping supplies with my Patriot Supply. So please support me by supporting those. Now back to my topic here. Why does it matter? It matters lots of ways. When the world starts coming unraveled, a lot of things happen. And a lot of people start jumping in sometimes. That's how you get the worldwide conflicts that can arise and have arisen throughout history. So when you're distracted over here, somebody else does something over there. If we get tangled up in one place, some other place may come loose. You know, you got to worry about the Koreas. What's Kim going to do? Would somebody see this as an opportune time to take out our power grid? There's many ways in which that can happen. I've talked about that endlessly. A nuclear winter would not be a good thing to face at all, especially given that we're in a grand solar minimum and we're going to face crop shortages as it is. And given also the breakdowns in the supply chain. You're going to be talking about more breakdowns in the supply chain. There's no way this ends good. This is why I tell you to be aware and prepare. Don't be scared, be prepared. This is why I tell you to look at what we're facing. Keep your eyes wide open and head on the swivel, because it's going to be coming at us in many directions, because there's just so many things ripe right now. The holes in the Swiss cheese seem to be lining up. Grand solar minimum, the weakening of our magnetosphere, the tensions that abound outside the United States and inside the United States. I did a video called Powder Keg USA and a follow-up to that. Our tensions in this country and outside in the world are really tense right now. Having bad economic times makes them worse. Having things going around makes them worse. When people are desperate, they do desperate things. So this is why we need to form our communities. This is why we need to form our groups, because a lone survivor is going to be hard pressed. If you can be the lone prepper and that's your only choice, then do what you can. You got to keep your family and yourself safe. Do everything you can to keep yourself and your family safe. Your friends, your family, your neighborhood. But go beyond that. We need to form communities. And I'm working the effort to do that now. I'm collecting names and I'll be sending out questionnaires to people. And so if you want to join my tribe movement, just email me, HAL5, H-A-L-5. That's Hotel Alpha Lima, the Arabic number 5, space, S-P-A-C-E as in space above, Sierra Papa Alpha Charlie Echo, HAL5 space at AOL.com. AOL is Alpha October Lima, okay? .com. Charlie October Mike. Come on guys, I hope you get that, right? So HAL5, and there'll be a link, that'll be below too. So just to, click more on the notes. So I'm wishing everybody the best. I'm just letting you know that we're in a situation, things could get ugly from many different directions all at once. Who knows what's going to happen? Let's pray that this don't come to pass. Let's hope that we can avert these things coming to us. And if you get a chance to, in any way to be active in that, I know that cooler heads will like to prevail in many fronts in China and in India and in Pakistan, but there may be those that choose to capitalize on it. Passions may overrule that. When you got militaries facing off and direct face-to-face like that, it's easy for hostilities to escalate. And the fact that they're building up, the Chinese are actually putting in bunkers. They're putting in heavy equipment and digging in bunkers in that area. That's a sign of seriousness. We know that they seem to have some very expansionist plans from the CCP, Communist Chinese Party. Now and again, there's a lot of great people in China. There's a lot of great people in India. There's a lot of great people in Pakistan. I've got friends from all three of these places. Really good friends, I might add. So, because I've got a long career working engineering and things like that, and in different places with a lot of international people have been involved. And I've met a lot of really good people from all these areas. So I'm going to tell you, I mean, a lot of really, really good people. It's the governments that really get us in trouble. That's what we've got to mind and watch. And that's why in our country, our constitutional liberties matter. One of the reasons. Plus, I do believe in individualism. I do believe in self-sovereignty. And I do believe that you need to watch how you vote with your dollar, buy local, and support the mom and pops, support the local farmer. Go to the farmer's market, find your local farmer directly and get as much as you can from them. There may be some community-supported agriculture in your area. Support that as much as you can. So by doing these things, you enhance your community. You put a wall on globalism and say, hey, no, you're not the solution because you're not even sustainable. Power grid goes out, all your systems break down. None of that works. And if you're totally reliant on those kind of systems and the grid goes down, there's nothing for you. That's why we need to support our local communities. That's why we need to support our neighborhoods, our neighbors, our friends, our family, and form our own communities, our own tribes to stand up and survive all that's to come at us. So, just letting you know, this is what I promised I would do, is let you know when these things become known to me. You probably haven't seen this in American news. I don't even know if any other prepper channels have covered it yet. I was going to cover it an hour ago, but I had to run get a computer out of a shop. So, that's it. I hope and wish the best for all of you, no matter where you live, no matter what country or culture you're from. I believe we can all come together in peace and harmony if we can just get the yokes off of us. So the key thing is, person to person, we all nod our head to say yes, shake our head to say no. We all smile, laugh, and cry. Inside, we're all human beings. So let's make sure that humanity prevails in the worst of these situations. And I want to thank you for watching.